I do like me some Gamelit. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I am Andrew. Today guys, we've got another book review here for you. But before we can do that, please do me a favor. Like this video and subscribe to the channel, as it does help the channel grow. We just crossed 6,000 subscribers here on the channel, and I am absolutely thrilled, and I cannot thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Also, while you're subscribing, please check the description box down below for links to all my social media, including information about my Patreon, as well as links to the Discord. We've got a great community there, and we would love to just kind of hang out and chat with you. Now, today's book review is Dark Town by Palmer Pickering. Let's get in on that cover. It's a very, very good cover. And let me tell you what, Palmer is an author that I've read before. She's one of my patrons, and she does not disappoint here in this book. Essentially, one of the things I want to point out is just crediting the artist. A, this book is stunning, but B, there are a ton of illustrations in here, and she credits the pages, and okay, yeah, right here, lists of illustrations, and then it credits the artist, what page, and the scene being depicted. There's a whole page of illustrations here in this book. Let me see if the camera will pick it up. You see all these black striations? Those are all illustrations, and I like them all fairly well. Like, I mean, just look at this. Just gorgeous, gorgeous black and white illustrations. I think these are just stunning. So, kudos to Palmer for going all out on this. This is something incredibly special and unique. In the intro, you heard me say Gamelit. This is marketed as Litrpg, and it depends on like what you classify as Litrpg. It doesn't have stats and levels per se, but it does have some mechanics that I have seen in video games. Like, there's a jewel system that's kind of reminiscent of like Final Fantasy VII, where like certain colored jewels do certain things, and certain combinations have different effects and things of that nature. Like, let's see, there's, I think, 4 or 5 jewel colors. I'm going off the top of my brain, and I should have written it down, but there's blue, there's red, there's orange, there's white, and there's yellow, if I haven't said yellow already. And essentially, basically, let's start with kind of just how the system works. Basically, there is a dungeon that is run by dragons within this world. But it's not just like a dungeon that you can walk into a cave. There's like portals into it. There's rules. You have to leave like a homing beacon, things of that nature. People go in here and they play these games for the amusement of the dragons to get like in-game jewels that can like give them healing benefits or different, like they can take these powers outside of the game into their real world, and they get the kind of a real life boost and things of that nature. There's treasure to be had, and the game can be a little addicting. People constantly going in and spending years. If you die, you return back to the beginning with everything that you took with you. But essentially, the setup is that Temerity is this kind of young woman whose father and brothers have since gone into the dungeon, and they've been gone for a couple of years. And Temerity kind of wants to go in, and she's always wanted to be an adventurer. Her father always trained her along with her brother, so she knows how to fight, she knows how to forge, she's got some survival skills and stuff like that, and it's been her dream to kind of run the Dragons game, or, you know, take a shot at it. And so she decides to do that, and she's got her mom, who's got her kind of in, and then her mom gets some new help, and then her house hobgoblin, by the name of Half Pint, kind of eggs her on into this, and it's just like, hey, maybe take your shot at it. And yes, House Hobgoblin, I did say that correctly. Basically, a lot of these inns or houses can kind of have these hobgoblins who transform. Goblin not being a bad thing, they kind of like, for like bowls of cream and milk, will do chores around the house and stuff like that. And just kind of generally be almost like a borrower or like an elf or something. Kind of like the old school elf where they come in and they fix the shoes for the cobbler and stuff like that. Like, that's kind of what these hobgoblins do. But Half Pint, you can kind of see him right here. He transforms into, right here, a cat. This cat is this hobgoblin. Right there. Take a peek at him. He's gorgeous. He's stunning. I like Half Pint. But anyway, he's like 110 years old. He's been in Temerity's family for generations, and he's run the game, and he's got an in-game jewel. And so he kind of knows his way around this scenario in this game, and so he and Temerity enter the game. And from there, we get introduced to level 1, which is basically Darktown. They go through a labyrinth, and then they reach Darktown, where the book gets its name from. And Darktown is basically just full of quests. You can either run the alleys, which is more dangerous, or you can run the inns, which basically is doing a bunch of fetch quests and delivery, side jobs, the kind of stuff that you see in video games, and getting rewards and experience that way. But basically, all they have to do is get 3 dragon jewels, and then they can challenge the boss and progress to level 2. Now, this entire book is only level 1. But, essentially, we've got them trying to acquire dragon jewels and stuff like that. The white is for intelligence, yellow is for persuasion, orange is kind of like a warning, blue is a shield, red is attack, and I think green is healing. Green is healing. So that's kind of the colors of the jewels. Each person is allowed 3 jewels at any given time to be fully active. No more, no less. Unless you have an in-game jewel, then you can have a 4th. Or if you've run the game multiple times, you can just kind of stack your in-game jewels and become very, very powerful. But in this world, we've of course got goblins, we've got fae, we've got trolls, we've got ogres, we've got dragons. And it's very, very interesting and very incredibly well done. Now, I have read 2 other Palmer Pickering books, and that's Moon Deeds and Heliotrope. And I have to say, this is the most well-rounded of her books so far. It's very accessible, very easy to read. It's got motley crew, found family. We've got this great relationship with a little bit of banter between Temerity and Half Pint. Half Pint kind of takes on this role of a mentor, even though like she's never viewed Half Pint as a mentor character. But as she learns more about him, she kind of starts to realize, oh, this person is a mentor towards me and he's taking care of me. She finds out a little bit more about her family. It's fantastic stuff. And I really just kind of like being in this game-like environment, but it feels like they're living the game rather than playing a game. Like, they're cognizant that they're playing a game for the amusement of dragons, for their own benefit, and the promise of treasures, but there's still stakes, and there's still just something special about this book. I love the care that Palmer has put into this, between the cover, the illustrations. It's even got a badge that says 100% human, no AI. I really, really enjoy this. In fact, I think it's called The Dragon's Crawl, not The Dragon's Game. I digress. I would give this book a solid 4 out of 5. The only thing I'm really going to dock it for is there were some situations kind of multiple times through the book where I never really felt invested in the stakes. I always felt like Temerity and Half Pint would win through. And so I was wanting a little bit more of the tension of, potential failure with some dire consequences. And that didn't always come through, but even so, like, for the world, for the game, for the characterization, for the relationships, for the inventiveness, for the fun, I really enjoyed this book. Now, there is an audiobook also available. I kind of did some segments here and physical reading as well. The audiobook performance wasn't exactly for me. I felt the audiobook was a hair just flat from the narrator, but I mean, that is all up to taste. But for people who are looking for indie with audio, Darktown does have an audiobook. That's all I've really got for you today, guys. I've really enjoyed this book, and I cannot wait for the second book, as I will be picking it up and I will be reading it. Please tell me, does this sound interesting to you? Are you a fan of Litrpg? Do you like Gamelit? And tell me what you think of this gorgeous cover, because it is stunning. In fact, let me look up the artist and see. Oh, here we go. Cover art designed by Dusan Markovic. Dusan, you have done an amazing job. But that's all I've really got for today, guys. So till next time, peace out, stay magical, bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons. Thank you for supporting my passion and my hobby. It means the world to me.